Out in space is a station with a T-Rex face, firing lasers and playing games and killing all those herbivores. Out beyond the atmosphere, he's collecting stuff and striking fear. Come on board and grab a beer for gameplay vids and retro cheer. T-Rex Space Station. Hello everyone, Happy New Year. I can still say that, right? I mean, I know it's like several weeks into January, but I guess it's the start of a new decade. I can still say Happy New Year. There kind of comes a point where it's like, is it awkward if I say it now? But yeah, I'm definitely still within the time frame. I'm rambling. It's been a very long time since I posted anything on this channel. I recognize that. I'm sorry about that. But you know, if you guys are YouTubers or game collectors or whatever, you'll know that you go through peaks and troughs in life, and sometimes you get busy and things kind of get in the way and you've got stuff to do. And that's what kind of happened with me. I mean, it's been 7 months, I think, since I last posted on the T-Rex space station. A lot of stuff has happened in that time. About 6 months ago, I got married. Yeah, you'll notice there's a ring on it now. Yeah, I got married to my wife Neve in Norfolk, which was a really awesome wedding. A lot of people said it was very Lord of the Rings, which is, you know, a plus if you're a nerd like me. But it was a big outdoorsy wedding, lots of green spaces and barrels of beer, and yeah, it was really amazing. So I've been super busy with various things, and sometimes video games and the game collecting and stuff takes a bit of a back seat. Not only that, but a lot of different things have changed. I've moved into a slightly different role for a bit. So I've moved into a research role for a while, looking at using ways of diagnosing lung cancer using machine learning and AI. So I'm starting to learn some Python programming and various different things like that, which has been a big challenge for me, getting my head into all these coding textbooks and stuff, but it's been really fun. And various other projects going on, recording an album, like a prog album, and making a point-and-click adventure game. So I've been doing stuff, and I've been playing games as well, but just my feelings just started to get a little bit tired of YouTube, and I wanted a break, and you know, just happens sometimes. Been on YouTube for like over 6 years, and it's pretty amazing that you know, I don't do that many things that consistently for 6 years. It's a long time. But yeah, some life things kind of, you know, came along. I've also moved house. I've moved from Brixton to Dulwich. Got my own place, mortgage and everything. Yeah, I'm really a grown-up now. And obviously still in a little bit of transition. Got to get loads of shelving up, obviously, to put all the retro games on. A small amount of my game collection has been unpacked. Not a lot of it, just a small amount. Because I need some shelving and stuff. And it's funny, when you move house, you kind of have this this thing where you look at all your stuff and you're like, have I got too much stuff? Do I really want to be moving all of this? It's a good time to kind of step back and reflect on what you're doing and what you've got. Do you really want it? Because you're having to pack it all up and move it in a van. And I took a really critical, hard look at my video games. Had shelves and shelves of games that I didn't play, and I knew that I hadn't played them in years, especially a load of PS2 games and loads of stuff that just sat there on the shelf, and I was carting it around every time I moved flats. And I looked at it and I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I like insisting on keeping all of these things that I never use? And it was starting to get me down a bit. It's just like having all of this stuff, too much stuff. And I know that's kind of like part of the fun of being a game collector and stuff, but that kind of side of just acquiring games has really died down now. I don't have that impulse so much anymore. So I took a huge bag of games to CEX, and I was like, I'm really sorry to the guy behind the counter. I was like, I'm sorry, I just need you to to go through all of this. It's going to take a while. And he was very good about it. He was there for ages. And I was amazed. I had some like DS games in there, some PS2 games, old Xbox games, like not a lot of stuff that I would have thought was too collectible, but the Pokemon games still keep their value, the DS Pokemon games. And I got like, he was like, you can have 300 quid store credit or 200 quid, something like that, in cash. And I was like, oh my God. I took the cash. But it was amazing how much money those games were worth. And the kind of place that I'm at now is that I'm just so much more in a quality over quantity kind of place. I can't be doing with just acquiring, and when I first started, when I first got a job, had some money, I just bought stuff on a punt because it was fun just to acquire, and now I'm way more cautious about what I buy, and I'm not really purchasing that much stuff these days, and I'm downsizing. Much better to have a concentrated collection of good games than a weird, intimidating mixture of good and bad and lots of things that you just don't need. I've got to be careful because I'm a kind of person who just loves things, and if you don't ever kind of take a step back and have a look at it, you can just end up with a flat literally full of stuff. So it felt good. It felt good to do a Mary Kondo and be like, what is it she says? Like, look at things, and if they don't give you a sparkle of joy, you get rid of them. And I'm gonna keep doing that to some of my other stuff. Like, I've got quite a few Mega Drive games that I took a punt on just out of curiosity that aren't that good and that I don't really play. And I'm not going to keep them, but I think those ones need a sort of more slow, careful eBay kind of selling off, not just taking them to CX. I want to make sure I get the right money for them, the right value. Even some of the games that I don't like that much are worth like 40-50 quid, and some of the more collectible games that I've got are really worth quite a lot now. But should you really care about what it's worth? I'm not that bothered, to be honest with you. I'm more bothered about, is it good, and is it something I'm going to play? And if I'm not playing it, and I look at it and I don't feel like playing it, well, what's the point in having it? So, yeah, a lot of the sort of YouTube stuff has been about like acquiring and collecting and buying, and I've kind of just not that entertained by it anymore. It's not really where I'm at with what I'm finding enjoyable with the retro gaming stuff. And yeah, so kind of pickups videos and things like that, I don't really have that much to show. I'm not buying that much. I'm not really that fussed about physical stuff, really. I mean, I'm very happy to have digital games on the PlayStation 4. It doesn't take up so much space. Anyway, I'm gonna get some shelving up soon, and then all my games can be out and I can start thinking carefully about what I'll have and what I'll get rid of. I think it's quite nice to pick 2 or 3 areas that you'll focus your collection on. That's probably what I'm going to be doing, like carrying on with the Wii, carrying on with the Mega Drive, having those as like a main focus kind of thing, and the other collections be sort of smaller. But who knows? Anyway, I've been enjoying a lot of PS4. Some really, really good games coming out, guys. And yeah, so it was my birthday back in December, and firstly, I've never really seen the Star Wars films, and everyone's like, how can you not like Star Wars? You're a massive geek, like you've got to be into this. And I just got sick of it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get into Star Wars. So for my birthday, Neve got me the Star Wars The Complete Saga, which has got the first 6 films in it. And I've been starting with the original trilogy, which is actually episode 4. I've watched the first 2. I've still got episode 6 to go. Very good, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I can see why it got so popular. It's perhaps not so mind-blowing to me because, I'm not coming into this at the beginning. I can imagine it was really mind-blowing when people were first starting out in the 1977 or whatever it was. And the acting is pretty goddamn awful, like Han Solo, Luke Skywalker. No, Han Solo's okay, Luke Skywalker is particularly bad. I've forgotten the name of the actor now, but his acting is just awful in it. Han Solo is quite good, but he's a bit over the top, corny. Anyway, you can't. You got to judge it by like when it came out, I guess, rather than looking back at it with like the modern spectacles kind of thing. So anyway, I have been going through a bit of a Star Wars phase, and so obviously I had to put Jedi Fallen Order on my Christmas list, and I've completed it. And it was a really superb game. Even if you're not massively into the films, I think that Star Wars has given us a lot in terms of fantastic video games, even going all the way back to Dark Forces on the PC, which is a really great game that I used to love, very hard game, with some very well designed maps. And basically, if you listen to what Jim Sterling has to say, this is a really good thing because EA essentially started now using their Star Wars license to make some single player campaign games rather than all being about Star Wars Battlefront and online and all that kind of stuff, and it sold really well, and that's a message to EA that yes, there is still a demand there. People still want to play single player campaigns. It mixes up exploration, Tomb Raider style cave exploring, great combat, and a Dark Souls light kind of system of you know, you lose your stuff when you die, you have to get back to that point to get your EXP back. I put it up to like the second to highest difficulty, which made it very fun and quite like a challenge, especially as I've been playing like Neo and stuff over the last year. I think it plays best when it's kind of more intense like that, but super fun with all the lightsaber action and using the Force, and just an incredible game. I loved every minute of it. I may go back and like collect some of the extra things to get the platinum or whatever, because I got so many games to get through. I've kind of finished the main campaign and then left it there, but just absolutely superb. If you've got a PS4, you'll definitely love that one. But recently, this game has been blowing me away. I got Death Stranding for Christmas, and it's Hideo Kojima's latest incredible creation. You know, that guy has got a crazy imagination. Yeah, I can't believe how good this game is. Every game that I'm playing is like, I keep saying I can't believe how good it is, and he's like, he keeps saying that every time you get a PS4 game, but honestly guys, like, we've got to this place now in gaming, I think, where what people are able to make is just mind-boggling. I really like, it's almost like building up a civilization and infrastructure from the beginning. Like slowly, you know, you start out walking around delivering stuff manually, then there's roads coming in and cars, and then there's collaborations and sending out resources and automated robots, and it's like building this network. It's kind of like being a futuristic Amazon delivery driver, but there's so much more to it than that. The story and the creation is so incredible, it's so intriguing, it's hard to know exactly what's going on. It reminds me in some ways of like a Murakami novel where everything is super difficult to understand, it's abstract, but you feel like you're slowly moving towards understanding it. There's been this event, the Death Stranding, there's something about these weird creatures called BTs. It's incredible, it's absolutely incredible. And you know, I don't usually give games ratings, but to me this is like as close to perfect as I've played for a long time. And there's so many great systems in there. Hideo Kojima loves his little systems, balancing systems and weight systems and wear and tear on things and resources and getting likes for doing good deliveries. It's got that kind of addictive social media thing where you do a good delivery, you get a like, and you get to level up, and other players can like your stuff, and you can build things collaboratively. We just got to this really exciting place with gaming, guys, and I'm just really happy with where the PS4 has ended up. I know we're coming towards the end of its life cycle, but the stuff that's coming out is just blowing me away. Anyway, my brother went to Japan a couple of times recently, and it's been this kind of joke when he goes there. He's like, is there anything you want me to look out for gaming wise? And I keep asking him for Zaz on the Game Boy, which, if you don't know, it's basically one of the rarest, most sought after and expensive Game Boy games, and it goes for crazy amount of money, but not just because it's rare, but also because it happens to be one of the best Game Boy games in terms of utilizing the graphics. And when I opened this on Christmas Day, I thought he'd actually managed to get me a real copy of the game, and I was like nearly lost my shit, but it's actually a repo copy. But nevertheless, it's nice to have that in my collection. I'm probably never going to be able to get the real thing, but this will do, just to satisfy my Game Boy shmup cravings. As you guys know, I have been collecting shmups on the system, and I'll be doing some gameplay of this relatively soon, so you can see how it looks. But that was a really fun present from my brother, where I was just like, oh no you didn't, and he was like, don't get your hopes up too much, mate, it's a repo cart. I've not tested it yet. I hope it does actually work. I've ordered Xenocrisis, the new Mega Drive game, which looks incredible. I can't wait till it turns up. Well, it has been delivered, it just I wasn't in, so I'm going to go collect that. And it's really cool to see so many new Mega Drive games coming out. I've got Tangleweed that I still need to crack into and play as well. So anyway, I'm sorry that I haven't been posting that much. I've had a lot going on in my life. Still a lot going on. Unfortunately, my nana passed away last week, so I've got her funeral, which is very sad. Kind of big part of my childhood growing up was spending time at her place, and I often use retro gaming as a way of getting back into childhood in some ways. You know, this helps us never really have to grow up, but that was very sad. A lot of different things going on in my life. I've been very busy, but I'm hoping to get back to posting now and then, and getting back into this whole thing and just going at my own pace and taking some of the pressure off. Anyway, thank you all for sticking around. I do hope you have a great 2020. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.